Good morning, Mr. Yonda. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. This is the final part of the show. Thank you guys for joining me. This is video 2. This is part 2, but this is a final part of the show. We usually on 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. Good morning, Mr. Yolanda, Brittany. Hey, Brittany, how you doing, sweetheart? I haven't saw you in a long time. Thank you, cuz, for joining me again. So this is just a final part of the show. Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Miss Robina Webster, Dr. Nadine, good morning. Good morning, good morning. This is Trinese with Real Talk with Trinese. We're back on the airwaves. We had an amazing interview with Jordan P. Vappy. Right now, we are talking about my productions that I have going on. As my live broadcast got shut down abruptly, but I started another live video on my Facebook page. So if you want to go to Trinese Jordan Playwright Duplessis page, you can watch it there. I'm on my God's Tears on My Window Pane page, and I was talking about that amazing stage play that we are bringing old school entertainment back, where you can eat a meal and you can listen to live music and you can be entertained fully. We're bringing that back. I did my first play to Let's Stay Together in 2011, was a dinner play, and we had the food catered. And this time we are going to have our own food catered with our own catering company, and we have a surprise for you. So it's going to be an amazing meal. So you guys, if you want to get your tickets early, because it is going to sell out. Both shows are going to sell out. I'm going to tell you that it's going to sell out. So you need to get your tickets like ASAP. Like, even though it's in July, the tickets may be sold out before July. So I'm saying get your tickets now so you won't be left out. Tell your friends and your family. God's Tears on My Window Pane Part 2 Theater, the Inner Theater, is going down July 21st and July 22nd at the Watson Memorial Family Center of Hope on 4422 St. Charles Avenue in New Orleans, Louisiana, 70115. Tickets are $25. If you don't want a dinner, like I said on my other broadcast, you are going to miss out if you don't get dinner. But if you don't want to eat dinner, that's fine. It's $25. If you want to eat dinner, it's $40. And the VIP, you get extra lanyard, extra seating, greater seating. You can get those VIP tickets for $50. That is stageplay.ticketleap.com. We are going down. It's going down. I have so many things that's going on. And those of you who live in New Orleans, as you know, I do have a local television show called the Trinese Duplessis Show. The Trinese Duplessis Show. We have a new show that's airing this Sunday. If you don't know the history about my television show, it used to be Hope for the Day, where I co-hosted the show for 8 years with Reverend Henry Thompson. I co-hosted that show, and I was basically responsible for the short stories, the theatrical part of the show, inspiration part, and all those different things. I did that for 8 years. And Reverend Henry had other things going on in his life that he decided that he no longer could do the show, and I got the show. So the show is my full responsibility. I'm the executive producer and the producer of the show and the creator of the show. So now I can bring any type of guest I want on there. The show is more conventional, meaning it can reach more people. I'm trying to bring the Carol Burnett style back, Flip Wilson, even Dave Chappelle, all of those different things. And if you think that you have what it takes to come on the show and perform with myself, because I do a lot of acting on the show and I also do interviews, but right now we're doing theatrical on the show. If you think you have what it takes and you want to be a part of the show and you want to act and sing or anything like that, because I am the sole writer of the show, so I do write the skits, you can email me at the Trinese Duplessis Show at gmail.com. the Trinese Show at gmail.com. That way you can send your headshots and your resumes there. And we are going to bring the old school entertainment back. Not only am I doing an old school entertainment back with the dinner play that I have with God's Tears on My Window Pane Part 2, I'm also entertaining on the television. God has given me all of these platforms, television, theater, radio. I am using it to my full capacity, meaning that I'm going to make sure that I give my all into what I do so it can be very effective. So television, radio, from the stage, all of these things are happening. God has given me all three of these platforms, and I'm reaching out to those of you who want to have good quality entertainment, who want to be a part of good quality productions that I put on. And I do casting. Yes, I do. I do casting. I've given people multiple opportunities that do not even have acting skills, but they have the gift. Meaning when I say acting skills, that you didn't go to school for acting. Because I can tell my testimony, I did not go to school for the things that I do. The directing, the producing, and the writing, I don't have a college degree. Okay, this is a raw talent. I'm not ashamed to say it. I went to college. I'm going to be truthful with you. College was boring for me. It didn't excite me. College did not excite me. So I'm a very creative person. So when God gave me those gifts, those authentic gifts, I've always been a writer since a child. So I've always been writing, but to move it to the stage and now the television and the radio, these are raw, authentic gifts that God has given me. And I'm using it to the best of my knowledge. And I'm having people on my team that can help me grow. And I can tell you, when I started this playwriting journey in 2008 in the church, I didn't know that it was going to happen like that, because basically I was coming to the church. It was after Hurricane Katrina, year 2008. I was looking for a church home. My family and I was looking for a church home, and I wind up going to First Pilgrims Baptist Church. I joined, and it's an older lady, Sister Colbert. She was over the drama ministry, and she was trying to run it and run the housing ministry. So her hands was full. So one of the outreach workers asked, she said, do you know anybody that can help with the drama ministry or write or whatever? I said, well, hey, me, I can write. You know what I'm saying? I can write something. She said, well, that would be awesome. So that's how, when God is a perfect place in timing, when he gave it to her to ask, I was there to receive, and I was there to receive the job. Yes, I can write. I raised my hand. I can write. I can help. So what I did, I wrote my first stage play called Saving Justin, a youth stage play called Saving Justin, where it was two black boys that grew up in two different households. One of the households was a household that was poor middle class, at the bottom. But they had a strong faith in God, and he was raised up believing in God and had a Christian faith. And the other boy was raised up in an atheist household who was rich, and they had money and different things like that. So but the rich household did not believe in God at all, and they had money, but these two people were friends. These two boys were friends, and the one that was growing up in the rich household, he actually was getting into trouble. He was getting into peer pressure, drugs, and different things. So that's what that play was about. And I don't know where in the world God gave me that idea from, but he gave me that script, and we put the script on in the church's gym. I'll never forget. It was 2008. The lady that was over the drama ministry, she put her play on, and I put mine on, and it was a huge success. And I was just looking at everybody clapping, and it was just an amazing experience. So I knew that this was another stepping stone for me to get my writing out there, putting it on the stage. And I had a friend of mine, a junior high school friend of mine that went to Beauregard with me. She prophesied to me that, hey, Trinese, you're going to be writing plays. And I'm like, yeah, right. I'm not going to be writing any plays. Hey, Mr. Joe. Hey, everybody that's watching. I'm like, I'm not going to be watching any, I'm writing any plays. You're silly. No. So that's what happened. So that's how I got my feet wet in the church, writing the plays. And then, of course, God wanted me to expand my gifts. So he decided to tell me that you need to build outside the church. You need to take your ministry outside the church, because unfortunately, sometimes when you're constantly doing things in the church, the people of the world can't see your work. The people that need it the most can't see your work. So I had to take my work outside of the four walls of the church. And that's how I built my company, T Duplessis Entertainment. My husband and I decided to do T Duplessis Entertainment in 2011, and we've been going strong ever since. So I'm very proud of the work I've put out there and all the opportunities that I'm providing for people. And at the same time, I'm exercising my gifts, because again, I did not go to school for these things that I'm doing. This is just something that is raw talent that God birthed me with. It's already been inside of me. And even in high school, as Jordan and I was joking on the high school, it was just crazy. So I'm very, very, very happy that I'm on this route. I'm on this road, and even in high school, we didn't see ourselves as these people that we are today. But God always have a plan and a purpose. So it's very, very, very important that you know what your gifts is, and don't let anybody know. Don't let anybody discourage you. Hey, you don't have a college degree. You don't have this. You don't have that. You don't have plaques on your wall. You don't have this and all this kind of stuff. And it doesn't work like that. Because when God gives you something, it comes from above and it comes inside of you, and nobody can stop you but you. Nobody can stop you but you. You understand where I'm going? Nobody can stop you but you. So you have to understand what is your God-given assignments and what is your calling. And once you know that, the sky is unlimited. Like we're eagles soaring, like Jordan and I was talking about. We're eagles. We're soaring on territories we never thought that we can fly over. We are really eagles out here. So you have to know what it is that you want to do that brings great joy to you. That brings great joy to you and bring great joy to God, and it brings great joy to others. That's what it is that you must do. You have to realize what it takes. It takes tenacity. It takes strong faith. You have to be fearless. You have to be fearless on what it is that you want to do. You have to be fearless, meaning that you cannot fear the unknown. Because once God give you those eagle wings, don't let anybody cut your eagle wings with that doubt and insecurity. Because you can cut your own eagle wings with doubt and insecurity and hopelessness and all those different things that stop you from flying. But once you get it in your spirit, like, this is what I want to do. This is my calling. This is my life. This brings joy to me. It does something to me to get on that stage and perform, you guys. It does something to me when I'm performing and when I'm writing a script and I see those characters come on to life on stage. That does something to my spirit, because I tell my cast all the time when we're rehearsing, and I'm actually in the play, because most of the time when I'm writing these scripts, I'm going to be in it some kind of way, where it's a small cameo appearance with one of my characters. I make sure I'm in the play some kind of way. But I have to learn the lines just like they have to learn the lines. And the reason I say it, because they laugh all the time. Every cast that I work with, like, well, didn't you write this script? I say yes and no. And I have to explain to them that God wrote the script. He just gave it to me and I wrote it. So whatever he gave me, I still got to memorize that, because it's coming from up above. So that's what I have to explain to people, that when you let God take over, you let God take over the pen, and he brings the creativity in your brain, and it goes on paper. It comes from up above, and you're helping somebody. You're helping somebody. You know what I'm saying? You're helping others to go out there and see, while you living your life as a light, as you're a light and an inspiration for others, and you are living out on purpose, people like, wow, how did she do that? And I'm just an ordinary girl that had big dreams. That have big dreams and goals. I'm just a person that answered the call I answered the call from God. That's what I'm saying. What are you waiting for to answer the call, my Facebook friends that's on here? Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much. What are you doing to answer the call from God? What are you doing to answer that call? Because he's calling all of us. All of us got jewels, but it's up to us to use it for the good and to use it for the bad, because unfortunately, people use their gifts to manipulate people. And that's not what God set this thing up for. So I can do a lot more. I can do a lot more than what I'm doing, because I know how far I can go. And sometimes procrastination will stop me. And sometimes laziness will stop me. I say that all the time. Sometimes laziness will stop me, but procrastination definitely stops me sometimes. There's some accomplishments that's on the back burner because of laziness. Let's be real. I'm not always on the go. Not all the time. Sometimes I'm laying in the bed being lazy. Hey, it happens. But I do know that there are some things that I definitely need to be doing. I definitely need to put my hands on. And there are more gifts. Let me tell you something, guys. God will have those gifts hidden. There's a video that you guys need to look at. And I've shared it multiple times. Go to YouTube and look up Tyler's Paris. Sometimes God hides you. Sometimes God hides you. And God hid me for a long time, guys. God hid me. And that's why some people are looking at my situation or looking at me like, wow, where did she come from? She never was doing the school plays. She's never been in none of these, been with this theater group or that theater group. She hasn't been in anybody plays or whatever. Where did she come from? Where did this woman come from? They're like scratching their head like, how does she pull off these major productions and these great productions, and with little finances? Because you know what I'm saying? Because I'm pulling to put these shows on. It's not like anybody's just dumping money, and you got to finance your own vision until you find those people that's going to sow into you. You got to finance your own vision. And that's what I'm doing. So because God hid me and I had to get to a certain maturity level. I had to get to a certain maturity level to handle the blessings that happen. Because when you're immature, what do? When God blesses you sometime, when you're immature, you mishandle it. You get an ego, you get your chest stuck out like, yeah, nobody can't touch me. You get all that. But when you're a mature age and life has, you're seasoned a little bit and life has taught you some things, if you've been through some things, you will appreciate the growth that God has put you, because I appreciate every step that I've taken and every opportunity that I've taken, and I turn it into a masterpiece. I turn it into gold. That's what I do when God gives me something to work with. And it may not be $1 million. It may not even be $1,000, but I'm going to make this into a masterpiece, and I'm going to make it look like it's worth millions of dollars. You can make nothing look like something when God has something to do with it. I remember doing Lighter Together. Those of you who follow me on Mama T, those of you who follow one of my characters, the Mama T page. Okay, those of you who are listening who don't know, I have a character called Mama T. She's something like Medea, but she's a little more than Medea, meaning that she gets down in the trenches of her spiritual walk, and her, the story is she lost one of her sons and she almost killed herself. But Mama T is hilarious. So I do a lot of videos and promote Mama T. But I remember writing it as a short story, because I'll tell you this. I wrote Lighter Together as a short story in year 2009. I wrote that story in 2009. And the woman that was described in the short story was a dark-skinned woman. I'm not dark-skinned. I'm fair. I'm a brown cocoa butter woman. But it was a very, very dark-skinned woman that was displayed in the short story. And I told that short story on Hope for the Day, the same show that I hosted for 8 years as a guest. I told that story Lighter Together over and over and over on the television. And then one day, I was hosting a poetry show at the Juju Bag with some other artists. We had a weekly poetry show, and God said, well, you're going to be Mama T. And I'm like, I'm going to be Mama T? I didn't see myself as Mama T, but I wound up being Mama T at this poetry show. So I did a monologue, and people fell in love with me as Mama T. It was hilarious. I had a live band behind me. I made up songs. It was just like I was a comedian up there. And then God said, I want you to do Light of the Ghetto as the play, and you're going to be Mama T again. I'm like, huh? When God tell you to do something, you have to do it. So again, is what I'm saying is I wrote that short story, not putting myself in the short story, and I wind up being Mama T, and people love Mama T. And Light of the Ghetto, the first time I did it was at a theater that wasn't Cafe Istanbul style. It wasn't the best looking theater. It was, it was okay, but it wasn't the best looking theater, but it was an opportunity that I took to bring my masterpiece there. And that's what I did. People did not worry about the area it was in. They didn't worry about how it looked. They were focused on the content of the play. And sometimes people can have all kind of props, beautiful props and stage, and the play don't be about nothing. But this play had something to it. It was a meaningful play. That was my first play as Mama T in 2012. Light of the Ghetto. It was sold out 2 nights in a row. I'll never forget it, how we pulled that off. And every now and then, it was years later till I decided to look at myself and sat down and watch my work. Because as artists, we don't even look at our own work at some time. We just do it and we keep it moving. So God said, I want you to sit down and watch yourself. I want you to watch what I did through you. Y'all listen to that. God want me to sit down and watch what he did through me. That's what he told me to do. So I put the DVD in and I watched that Light of the Ghetto, and I'm sitting there. I got chill bumps all over my body. I'm looking at Mama T, and I don't see Trinese. I don't see Trinese. I'm literally looking at Mama T, but I don't see me. So God had took me out, took Trinese out, and put Mama T there, and I believed it. I saw it, and it brought tears to my eyes, and it gave me chill bumps, because that is the power of God. When you look at yourself as a character and you don't even see yourself, and you forgot it, and I forgot it was me. I told this testimony about 3 times. I forgot that it was me on that stage, especially when I got in those vulnerable moments when it was me and God talking on that stage, and I played the character of losing a son and wanted to commit suicide. And it's all that in Light of the Ghetto. It's there. If you have seen it, it's a powerful play. So I'm looking at it like, wow, that's me. That's me on stage doing that. So it just made me realize that God is powerful. And he can use us in a mighty way. He can use us till we in a shock mode. Like, wow. He puts us in awe every day. He puts me in awe every day. And what I see is happening in my life. God is bringing people to my life that see the work that I'm doing, and they want to water it. They want to help me. They want to help me build more. They see the years of work that I put in and that God helped me put in. And I've always give respect and I give honor to God, because I don't never say it was all by myself and my family that has helped me, my backbone of my family that's pushed me. So God, even though I messed up and did some crazy things and you know what I'm saying? He still is continuously to bless me and forgive me for those things that I've done that was not right or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He still is using me in a mighty way. And that's why I'm so bold about what I do, because God is bold. He is God, Almighty. And when he put things inside of us, we can show that we are almighty and we can do everything through him. So I really give honor and love and respect to God. And sometimes those of us who lose faith in God because of a trial or tribulation that we went through, we start to lose faith, but he is still there. Sometimes God has to wake us up and teach us that life is short and life is precious at the same time. Life is short and life is precious at the same time. So every day that we're on this earth, we need to realize what it is that we need to do. We got to wake up like, what's my assignment today? Your assignment may be something as simple as this. I'm going to buy a bottle of water for this garbage. I'm going to buy give cold waters that I have in my refrigerator. I'm going to give those waters to these garbage men that's working in this heat because they're sweating and it's hot. Let me give them a water. That's an assignment. Or I'm going to go to work and I'm going to buy a dozen of donuts and I'm going to bless my coworkers with these donuts. That's an assignment. Or I'm going to text someone or call someone that I haven't heard from in a while that I see doing great things. And I want to just say, hey, I'm proud of you. I appreciate you. I love you. Send them hearts. That is your assignment for the day. Your assignment may be to encourage somebody, and your assignment is to live your life on purpose and to be a light for somebody else to see so they can live their life too. So God give us different tests all the time. He give us different assignments. They may have someone come up to you. You may have $5 in your pocket, and this person may come up to you and ask you for $5, and this person probably really need that $5, and your assignment is to give that $5. But you have a debit card, a credit card, you have money in your bank account, but you have $5 on your person, and somebody asks you for $5. I'll never forget, I was driving in a car. I didn't have any money, but I had a bag of pennies. I told this story before. I had a bag of pennies, and the man was sitting on the side under the Claiborne Bridge. He said, ma'am, you got anything? I need, anything, water, anything like that? I'm like, I don't have anything. And then my mind realized I had a bag of, then he said this, do you have some pennies? I'm going somewhere with this. Do you have pennies? I'm like, pennies? That's strange. I never heard anybody ask for pennies. I had a bag of pennies that my husband had bagged up in the car, guys. A bag of pennies. And I had one water. And this man asked for water, and he asked for pennies. That was my assignment, to bless him what his need was. And I was able, when I gave him the pennies, his eyes was like, and I gave him the water, his eyes was like, oh, wow. So it was a moment in time. That moment in time was meant to be. It was meant for him to meet me. It was meant for my husband to put those bag of pennies in that car and to have a bottle of water in that car at that moment in time. We have assignments every day, from big to small. We have assignments every day, guys. Every day we have assignments. Every day. So if you wake up every morning and you have good on your heart, even though your night may have been rough, you may have not have a good night's rest, but you want to wake up and make it better. You want to wake up and do good by people. And your intentions is not to hurt people. God is going to bless you. We can't roll over in the bed and say, who I'm going to mess over today. Because they got people like that. They got people like that that live like that. That their daily duties is to hurt people. And God is going to deal with that. And I say this, and I've heard several people say this. Hurt people do hurt people. Because if you're not healed from your trauma and from your situations, if you're not healed, then you're going to continue to hurt others because you're hurting. And it goes back to say this, guys. I want to say this. Shout out to Ayana Molina. Shout out to Ayana Molina, who did Runaway Girl last Friday. I was sitting in the audience with many other artists and many other people that came to her first one-woman show called Runaway Girl. I read the book several years ago. I stayed on a sofa and read the whole book. She did her first one-woman show. She turned her book into a play. And when I say they didn't have a dry eye in the audience, they had people sitting on the floor. It was a sold out house. People sitting on the floor to watch this masterpiece on stage. I was sitting there like Ayana transformed into her little girl when she was a little girl till she was a teenager to a young adult. She played all of those roles non-stop, no intermission. She gave it to us, her star, her raw truth. And she was bold in God to do it, and it was love. And she showed us on stage how what triumphant looks like. From being molested, from having multiple abortions, to all of those things, God has made a masterpiece out of that. All of the pain that she went through. And her children are beautiful and gifted. So, we judge people and we don't know what they went through. But she displayed her life on that stage, and she was unapologetic about it. And look at her today. So what I'm saying is, she was hurting herself as well as hurting others because she wasn't healed. But now she's a counselor, she's a therapist, and she helps others. And because she's been through some of those same things. So there's a purpose for everybody, guys, is what I'm saying. Use your pain to heal. There's a purpose for everybody out here. Yes, we've been through stuff. Yes, we've been through church hurt. Yes, we've been through family hurt. Yes, we've been through spouse hurt. Yes, we've been through children hurt. Yes, we've been through co-workers hurt. Yes, we've been through all kind of hurt. All kind of hurt through all kind of people. But there is still a super being inside of you that's waiting to come out. Because when you're hurt, that's not the end of you. When you're hurt, there's not an end of you. When you're hurt, that's not the end of you. When you're hurt, you can transform that into healing. And then you can heal other people. Because everybody has been through some kind of hurt and still goes through. You're going to, as long as God allows you to breathe and allow you to see and to inhale, and people are on this planet, somebody somewhere is going to hurt you some kind of way. But it depends on if we're mature enough to just keep it rolling. Mature enough to dust ourselves off and keep it rolling. And the right people that's in your life is not going to continuously hurt you. But at the same time, those people that continues to hurt you, they got some issues that they need, and they need to be healed from their hurt. Because hurt people, again, will continuously to hurt people. Unhealed people will hurt people. So that's what you need to do. You need to see if I resolved my mess. Hey, Kiana. Hey, sis. Have I resolved my mess? Because if I have not resolved my mess, how do I expect to embrace somebody else's mess and bring mess together? We bringing a big mess together, and both of us haven't been healed. So I got mess, you got mess. We create children, and the children got mess because of our mess. So it's important that we get our mess straight, that we get healed. This counseling is available out here. A lot of people, church folks, make you think that if you go talk to somebody that they're laboring you. But there's counseling out here for us. And as Black people, we go through a lot of trauma and pain, and we can go to Black counselors. Ayana Milena is a Black therapist. True Love Movement. Look her up. She's here to help. And other Black therapists that are in your cities are here to help Black people. And guess what? Pain, I'm saying Black people. I am a Black woman. I've been through stuff. But whites, Hispanics, all people of color go through things. Pain does not have a color. Pain does not have a color. But pain affects every nationality. Every nationality. Pain affects every nationality, and we got to clean up our mess. Are you healed from your mess? Can you build another relationship with somebody with your mess? And are you going to abuse that person that's in a relationship with you? You may have a knight in shining armor. You may have a queen of the Nile. You may have a Nefertiti come your way. Beautiful woman, beautiful man that's right for your life, but you haven't cleaned up your mess. And you abuse their goodness and you run them off. And then some of us say, oh, there's no good men and there's no good women. You didn't clean your mess up. You didn't embrace them. You ran them off because you still got mess you're dealing with. But you got mess and you got treasures. I'm going somewhere with this. You got mess and you got treasures. That means you've got mess from life's trauma and different things we went through, but we also got these buried treasures that's waiting to come out. And we need this mess. We need to clean the residue out and get healed and go see people and talk to people and get it out and forgive. Because sometimes when we don't forgive, we're carrying a grudge, and a grudge can age us. Holding hatred for somebody can age us, cannot allow us to live a full life, a happy life, if we have a grudge and we have a hate for somebody. And we wake up hating somebody. People that have got molested and things like that, I'm not saying you're supposed to just forgive your abuser just like that. I'm saying you got to forgive yourself and stop blaming yourself and blame yourself because the abuser was manipulative. You got to understand that it wasn't your fault, because abusers are manipulators. So there's a whole world out there waiting for you to shine. There's a whole world waiting for you to show your gifts. There's a whole world out here for you. So what I'm saying, guys, use your gifts in a mighty way. Do what you have to do to be a ministry tool to others. Do what it takes to be a light for others. Do what it takes to be a masterpiece. Be a masterpiece that you are, because you are a masterpiece. You're a masterpiece. That's what you are. Everybody is a masterpiece. You come from God, you know what it is that you have to do. So guys, I was supposed to shut this show down at 11 o'clock, but you know me. I'm always going to say something positive and try to inspire you as much as I can. Again, guys, you can follow me on Facebook at Trinese Jordan Playwright Duplessis or Trinese J Duplessis. And I have several Facebook pages. Sweet Willie's Cotton Club. T Duplessis Entertainment is my company. You can follow me on all those pages. And I'm also on Instagram at Trinese D, T Duplessis Entertainment, or T Lovely Queen, or you can follow me on Twitter at Lady73, and I'm also on Google. You can go to my YouTube page, guys. I'm pushing my YouTube page. I've uploaded about 13 videos of clips of my productions and things like that. So those of you who can't sit in the audience, a live audience, I've given you these platforms so you can see the things that I do. So go to YouTube, it's Trinese J Duplessis, or type in T Duplessis Entertainment, and you can watch shows from my TV shows from my plays, inspirations that I did in 2011. It's all there for you to see. Music videos with Sweet Willie's Cotton Club with all these amazing singers that's on there. I am really building my YouTube page up because, again, this is what I realized, that Facebook, you only can limit yourself to Facebook. So you got to go outside Facebook to build your platform as well. Okay. And I've done that, but I have to work those YouTube pages more because YouTube has been here a minute, and anybody can go see YouTube. Facebook is limited. Everybody's not on Facebook, so I had to realize, put it in my mindset that I have to use my YouTube page as well, and I have to put great stuff on there just as well as I put great stuff on my Facebook page. You're welcome, Joe, and thank you for listening. Everybody that's on here that's been watching the show and supporting me, thank you. So go to my YouTube page and subscribe to my page. Right now I have about 42 subscribers, but I want more. I want more subscribers so that way you can see what I'm doing and I'm building, because I have some fantastic things that's going to happen throughout this year that I'm very proud of, and we're working behind the scenes on some other things. It's every year God seems to amaze me, is all I can say. And those of you who've ever supported me, have ever said a kind word, ever bought a ticket or donated or whatever it is, I appreciate you greatly. I appreciate your prayers and your love. And, I'm an approachable person. So we do have a new show, the Trinese Show, where you're going to see a 30-minute segment of my one-woman show that I did years ago, Delusions versus Truth, where I play this chess-playing prostitute. And you'll get to see DDD. DDD, a lot of people know who DDD is. She's hilarious, but there's a story behind her story. So you'll get to see that this Sunday, Cox 76. So I may do an event page for that. So the Trinese Duplessis Show have a new show airing this Sunday at 11:30 a.m. on Cox 76 and 11 p.m. And you can follow my page and like that page, the Trinese Duplessis Show. So I am going to head up out of here, guys. I appreciate the time that you spent with me today, and shout out back to Jordan P. Vapp if you're still watching. You guys make sure you go to the website, thesneakybag.com, and get your sneaky bag. We talked about, he was on air, he's my fellow classmate, Warren Easton classmate, and he's an inventor, and he invented this sneaky bag where you can actually put a watermelon in here. If you go on picnics, if you just need stuff, your keys and all those different things, and you don't feel like carrying a purse, this is the way to go. And it saves on plastic. So get your sneaky bag, get 30% off today at sneakybag.com. Again, shout out to Jordan Vappy for being an awesome guest. He was a guest on my first video that I had out on Facebook, and this is the second one that I have up right now. And those of you who are listening, continue to listen on the airwaves, and you may not have access to Facebook. But again, if you have a computer and you want to go to YouTube, you have access there, and you can follow me on Trinese J. Duplessis on YouTube. So I am going to get out of here. Until next time, we'll be back here next Friday. Oh, I can't forget this. Next Friday, we have another special guest, and her name is the one and only Kelly Love Jones, which is one of my favorite artists in the city. She's going to come with her guitar. She's going to do some poetry. She's going to do some music. It's going down next Friday, guys. So next Friday, be here, same time, same place. The Real Talk with Trinese, CrescentCityRadio.com. Y'all make sure y'all here. We got Kelly Love Jones, and I'm going to immediately start promoting that show so you can hear some beautiful music. And she has this one song that's one of my favorites. It's called Triumphant. And I'm definitely going to have her sing that because I talk about being triumphant in your life. And I'm definitely going to have her on here singing a few of those beautiful songs that I love so much. So again, guys, we're going to have Kelly Love Jones, a special guest, local artist, but she's traveled the world with her music and her guitar. Her beautiful son Sky used to be right on her lap. So it's going to be a great time. Again, I appreciate this show is growing into a beautiful, amazing show. Every week it's getting better and better, and I appreciate you guys spending time with me. So we are going to end the show. Real Talk with Trinese. We'll see you next time. All right, guys. Thank you. Hey, Altina. Hey, Joe. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. It's been an amazing show. So I'm going to get off here. You guys want to share the video with others. Thank you for spending time with me. I am going to head out of here, and it's been another great Friday. And make sure you guys like my page if you haven't, the Trinese J. Duplessis page. And I would love to see many of you at the stage play, God's Tears Part 2, which is going to be a dinner play. I would love to see you guys there. So please, please, please come out and support. And I will see you next time.